Before we proceed with the practice activity on security controls, I would like to reiterate why are we doing all these practice activities and trying to understand different types of security controls. Let me describe the motivation. So whether you are a SOC analyst, risk consultant, or security engineer, you will constantly refer to preventive, detective, or technical controls in meetings, reports, and audits. Understanding them is not optional, it's foundational. Moreover, in interviews, especially for entry level security jobs, you'll be asked scenario based questions like what control would you apply here? Or is that a preventive or detective measure? These activities prepare you to answer confidently. And most importantly, when a real world incident actually occurs on your job, like a phishing breach or ransomware, your job will involve asking what failed, what control was missing, what can we implement to prevent it next time. And that's exactly what we are practicing here. And finally, in a lot of the certification exams, such as CompTIA Security Plus, you may be asked these type of questions, and understanding these security controls is important. So, in the first part of this practice activity, I have listed down the three major types of security controls or categories. The first one is administrative or managerial, the next one is technical or logical, and the third one is physical. Please keep in mind, these two terms are often used interchangeably, administrative controls or managerial controls. Okay, so I'm going to give you a control and then it is your job to place it in the right category. So let's start. The first one is biometric authentication. Is it a managerial control? Is it a technical control? Or is it a physical control? I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds so that you can think about it. Okay, if you guessed it correctly, then excellent. It's basically a technical control. It's not a managerial or administrative control because we are not defining policies or processes. And it's not a physical control as well. It's a technical control. Acceptable use policy. Okay, if you guessed it correctly, then excellent. It's a managerial or administrative type of control because we are defining acceptable use policies which users then sign or agree to, and this is basically managed via the administrative control category. What about security awareness training? Once again, this is a managerial or administrative type of control. Because, for example, you may have a policy in place that for all the employees in your organization, they are going to complete a security awareness training so that they are well aware of the latest scams, latest threats. What about security cameras? Is it a managerial control, technical control, or physical control? Okay, if you guessed it correctly, then excellent. It's a physical control. Now, security cameras are considered a physical control because they are tangible, hardware-based devices placed in the physical environment. They monitor physical spaces, rooms, entrances, gates. Now, you may ask the question, why isn't biometric authentication system also a physical control? Yes, they have certain physical traits, but they are classified as technical controls because the security enforcement is done by the software or hardware systems that match biometric data against digital records. And access is granted or denied logically via systems, not physically. What about multi-factor authentication? This is another type of technical control because once again, security enforcement is done by software hardware systems that verify if the user has correctly entered the code received on the second device. Moving on, what about door badges? So door badge is a physical type of control. Why? Because once again, they are tangible hardware-based devices that operate in the physical environment and they need to be physically presented and the access is physically blocked or allowed. Okay, now going on to these 6 different type of security controls by function or by purpose. Preventive, detective, corrective, deterrent, or compensating or recovery. What about reviewing system logs? Which category would this fit? Okay, so this is the detective type of security control. Why? because by reviewing system logs, you may identify certain attacks or certain activities that weren't authorized. So they try to detect issues. What about firewall? So firewall is a preventive type of security control because they sit on the premises and sometimes internally as well, but their primary job or their primary function is to prevent unauthorized access. What about this one? So let's say one of your systems has broken down, and now for large transactions, a manager steps in and he manually approves those transactions. What type of control do you think it would be? So this is a compensating control. Why? Ideally, the system that was actually approving the transactions automatically, that should have worked. But since that's broken down, a manager is stepping in and manually approving it. So it's an alternate or the second best solution. So it's a compensating control. What about awareness training? So this is a preventive type of control because you want your employees to be aware of the latest security threats, threat vectors, latest scams. So you're trying to prevent the attack from even happening. What about restoring from backup? So imagine one of your database servers has crashed, or maybe it has been hacked or encrypted by ransomware, and now you want to restore it from a backup. Which type of control would this fit? So this is a recovery based control. And last, a warning sign that says 24/7 surveillance and intruders will be prosecuted. Which type of control do you think this is? So it's a deterrent. It's going to deter attackers or intruders from entering the premises in the first place. So it basically discourages people. Okay, so that concludes our practice activity. I hope at least some of the concepts at a high level are much clearer to you now.